What's up, everybody? It's your boy AT2, and I just want to say thank you guys for being here. I know it's been a minute since I went live, but we are live, baby. We're live. Let's go ahead and get into it, y'all. What's up, everybody? It's your boy AT2 here, bringing you another episode of Talk the Real Deal with AT2. And yes, I'm your boy AT2. How everybody doing? How everybody living? How everybody feeling today? Let me say what's up to the people before we start. What's up, Winnie? What's up, EH? What's up, Miss Kitty? Could you don't fail me now? What's up, beautiful? Shout out to my big bro, Casey. Who else we got here? I got you, beautiful. I did say beautiful, right? Who else? Pure T, what's up, Pure T? Now Larry, why you bring your ass up? I need to block Larry. What's up, Beauty for Ashes? What's up, Just V? What's up, everybody? Thank y'all for being here. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. So today we're gonna kind of have a controversial conversation because there's a few things that I want to say about this whole Diddy situation. Johnny, let me tell you, I think Diddy should have just been who he was. And if he was who he was, he wouldn't be in this predicament. And Angie, you will probably agree with me. If Diddy was just who he was, it would have been left alone. But because he wants to hide who he truly wants to be, this is why he's in this situation. Thank you, C. I appreciate that. Thank you for becoming a new subscriber. Hello, Tierra. So anyway, so what ended up happening was that Jane Doe took the stand this week. Now, I'm not going to say the girl's name just in case I get invited to New York to go to the court. Well, not to testify, but I mean, like, if somebody want to bless my Cash App with some money so I can go to New York, be my guest. But I don't want to dox who she is, but it's only obvious who Jane Doe is. Even the picture of her, you can see in the thumbnail, the picture of her, she has dark hair. Who was Diddy messing with dark hair? Yeah. And her baby daddy is not making it any easier either, because the baby daddy is trolling. I said they should have put a gag order or something on him, but and that's the confusing part with the Jane Doe thing, right? If we know who Jane Doe is, Jackie, why even make her a Jane Doe? They should have just said who she was. I honestly feel like they should have just said who the lady was. Like, why put it out there that she's a Jane Doe? Because I feel like if you're going to have a Jane Doe, then it needs to be somebody we don't know. You know what I mean? The Jane Doe literally was listed in the Little Rod's lawsuit. The Jane Doe has a famous baby daddy who's trolling on the internet right now. The Jane Doe was involved with him at the same time he was involved with Young Miami. Like, all of these things are coming out in court, so you can already put two and two together. Like, I feel with the other chick, the one that went by Mia, that one we really didn't know who she was, but because they gave her job title, people were able to figure out who she was, right? And mind you, I've never heard of the girl before, but I mean, when you look up that job title, yeah, it tells you who that girl is. Just like with this Jane Doe, with all the context clues, we know who you fooling. Who you fooling? Jane Doe is going to get that baby taken from her. You can't tell me that 50 Cent isn't already filing for full custody. That man is going to get his child. Especially when you admit that y'all were having freak-offs at your place, at her LA residence. Mind you, Diddy is paying her rent, so I get it. However, you are having these wild hotel nights. That's what they call it. They didn't call it freak-offs. They called it hotel nights or debauchery. Hotel nights or debauchery, right? So you're having that at the same home that your son lives in, who your son is father is a famous rapper. And you think he's going to be okay with that? And when the famous father was saying, you little sex worker, and like trolling her, she got on her IG and was crying, like, I've never been embarrassed like this, and all these lies, and all of this was a lie. She denied it. Come to find out, no, you were. I mean, because you got to look at it like this, and people are going to be mad at me when I say this, but DC Purple Diva, if a man is not claiming you, but he is only with you when you do that freaky nasty shit, and he's paying your rent, I mean, Joy, what do you call it? If it looked like a sex worker, it is a sex worker. I mean, I hate to be rude like that, but essentially, yeah. No matter how much she tells us that she was in love with this man, you guys, the situation was pretty clear to me that you were only used for his fantasies, his sexual fantasies that he had. You were literally just used for that. That's what you were used for. Oh yeah, sometimes we would be alone, and those moments were sweet, and I love those. But then he would invite other men. Lady, that was a clue. Like, have y'all ever went a long period without having freak offs? Because she said even after the Cassie lawsuit, it didn't happen as frequent, but it would at least be like every other week. Well, if it's been if one of the things for in order for you guys, not even for you guys to see each other, but in order for him to pay your rent is to have these freak offs or hotel nights, then yeah, that's not a real relationship. Now, I'm not saying like her testimony isn't valid or her testimony should be thrown out because this just seemed like a bitter scorned woman. I'm not saying that, but at the end of the day, I'm talking about her specifically. Like, and then I gotta ask the question, you guys. So her baby daddy, right, the famous rapper, you're telling me that the child support that you get from one of the let's see how much he worth, y'all. Let's see how much he worth. Hold on, let me check real quick. Famous rapper net worth. Let's check it real quick. It says 60 million. Okay, 60 million. You should at least be getting that 10K that you were getting to fulfill Diddy's fantasy. At least you should have been getting at least 10K to take care of your child. I can't imagine 50 Cent. Oh, I said the name, damn it. I can't imagine him. Shit, y'all knew who it was. I'm not gonna say her name, but I'll say 50 Cent. I can't imagine 50 Cent not paying you more than 10K a month. Now, I don't know if anybody can look at their child support agreements. I don't have access to Pacer like that, or if they even went to court for a child support agreement. But you can't tell me that he's not paying you more than 10K a month. And granted, if it was a situation where it was like, hey, I have to do this and that with Diddy in order for him to pay the rent, at least you would think that he would be like, oh, no, I don't want you doing that. Let me give you some more money, or let me find you some new housing, or she didn't have to live where she was living on the West Coast. You know what I mean? She could have easily moved to Vegas. Vegas is a lot cheaper. And not everywhere in California is expensive. You know, I mean, it's high, but it's not that expensive where you need 10K a month. She could have simply moved to the valley somewhere where it would have been a lot cheaper, or the desert where it would have been a lot cheaper. The valley or the desert. She could have. She could have. If she still wanted to live in California, somewhere near LA, she could have picked the valley or Lancaster, Palmdale, the what you call it, the Inland Empire. She could have chose one of those places to live where she still would have been like at least an hour or two away from LA. And yes, thank you, Denitra. Tell them to hit that like button. What's up, Nini? She definitely could have been, yeah. The troll is lying. He is worth 50 million. He is paying her less than two. Wait, what? Wow. Well, let me say this, EH. Then she should have got her ass up and got a job. And I've heard a lot of people say this. Like, yeah, maybe you should have got you a job, lady. She was all like, "Oh, I couldn't post anymore on Instagram because I was doing these freak offs all the time." I'm just like, "What? Uh is this true right here?" 50 was paying her 40K a month. She said it wasn't enough. What? Oh, it was reduced. Oh. So she set herself up. Thank you, don't trip. I said it. Even still, okay, 6,700 a month. Even still, she didn't have to be lubed down with baby oil. 6,700 a month is a lot of money. That's doable right there. That is doable. If she really ended up screwing herself over, then that's on her. That is on her. Yeah, that's a good question. Why was it reduced by that much? That's a lot. Now, I don't know if they're gonna bring up that, oh, well, were you a girl who just went around trying to be with famous men to get money off of them? I'm thinking when they do the cross examination, those are probably going to be questions that they ask, like, oh, were you just one of those girls trying to find a rich baller or a rich rapper to be with? And then this is how you fund your lifestyle. What education do you have? Um, I think she said junior college as far as education. I mean, I have junior college. Yeah, junior college. She's a model, quote unquote. And I feel like with models, anybody can be a model. Shit. I took a selfie earlier today. I'm a model. Shut up. Shut up. I know some of y'all gonna say something stupid in the chat right now. Shut the hell up. Let me think I'm a model, damn it. I know y'all was about to eat me up. You're like, 18, your fat ass ain't no model. I know. I already know y'all was getting ready to say something stupid. That's why I had to cut y'all out. That's why I had to cut y'all out before y'all cuss me out. Damn it. Yeah, it's just But I mean, yeah, the term model is just kind of like okay, like what does that really mean? Kind of like when people say, "Oh, I'm an artist." Okay, what does that really mean? Are you making any money? And OnlyFans. But that's the thing, V. He didn't want her to be an OF model. He said no. He said no. Oh, DC. Oh, use the model. Yeah. She wanted to do an OF because she heard that there's a friend that she had that made $1 million. So she wanted to do it, and he told her no. Now, again, I don't know if they're trying to spend, you know, how he wanted to cut her off when she said she didn't want to do the freak offs no more. I don't know if they're going to spin it to where, oh, well, see, that shows coercion. He was going to cut her off. What I need them to pull out, you guys, is a contract. Let me give you two examples. Two. Actually, they were saying that this girl was supposed to be the perfect victim. I think she's not the perfect victim at all. Now that we know who she is, right? So one, Cassie was tied into an artist development deal. So no matter if they had a relationship or not, you shouldn't be sleeping with your subordinate and then making them do crazy, freaky shit. Like, yeah, no job makes you have to sleep with your boss and do freak offs and shit like that, right? So that's already an issue. Then we go to Gina, Gina, I guess they're saying that she might still testify. At this point, we don't care. We watched the Tasha K interview. We already know what it is and what it ain't. So we watched it. But remember, Tasha had revealed that Gina had a contract that showed that she was an employee, some kind of like, I want to say marketing or something like that, or international affairs. He gave her a fake job title and had a contract. So that more shows like the RICO, like, you know, his lifestyle and stuff was being all these freak offs were being funded through his business. That actually shows something. With Daphne, I need to see if there was a contract, because this just sounds like she wanted more than what it was. And what she thought it wasn't. Now, it doesn't seem that she was abused, like physically harmed. It doesn't seem that yet. At least they haven't got to that. Shout out to the hospital picture crew. But it doesn't seem like she got to that yet. Or maybe that wasn't a thing that happened. Now, something that does help the prosecution is that the drugs, you know, he's still giving people prescription drugs and different kind of illegal substances, you know, that's still a part of the RICO. I know some people are like, oh, what's wrong with a little pink powder? No, you're not supposed to be, and necessarily too, you got to remember, one of the other things that she was useful for, I don't know if their relationship is going to be useful, but remember in the testimony, she said that KK, the lady, the Christina Corum lady, gave her like some drugs to transport on the airplane and shit like that, right? So that kind of shows drug trafficking and all that stuff. So I feel like she's more useful in that sense, to where she would be the one transporting the goods, quote unquote. I think that's where they should really focus on, because as far as their relationship trying to show coercion or he forced her to have these things, it sounded like she should have been forced to get a job. And mind you, something else, the other way that she's kind of screwed, she stated that he is still paying for her housing. Remember, she said that in the testimony, like he's still paying for her housing. So I'm all like, damn, even after all this, he's still paying for your housing? Because, you know, allegedly, if he's guilty, they're going to seize all that shit, right? So she's going to be SOL, because she ain't going to get no 10K a month no more. So she definitely going to have to find a job. All them payments are going to be cut off. But because I'll say this, and I might be the bad guy saying this, I don't feel bad for her. Even with Cassie, I feel bad. I know a lot of people go like, oh, well, Cassie doesn't know. I feel bad for Cassie. I feel bad for the Mia chick. I feel bad for Capricorn. I feel bad for Kid Cudi. Like, everybody who has testified, even though we can kind of go like, oh, well, you know, maybe this is a little wonky or something like that, I feel bad for. As far as damn. Well, I just said the first part, damn it. As far as Jane Doe, I don't feel bad for her. Jesus, listen, it's hard not to say the girl's name because we know who it is. It is hard. Ay, 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 please forgive me. Jesus, why they make the girl Jane Doe and we know who she is? Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Now, why they did that? You know what I mean? Like, again, because even if you look at the, like I said, look at my thumbnail, you guys. Even if you look at the thing, even though the face is blurred, like you still know who that is. Like the shape, the hair, and everything. Like, oh, it looks like this girl. Even 50 Cent posted a picture and was all like, where is whatever her name is, right? Oh my God. Yeah. I don't think, I wonder, does anybody feel sympathetic for her? Let me ask, does anyone feel sorry for Jane Doe, who we already know who she is? Yes or no? Do you feel sorry for Jane Doe? Okay, we got a few yeses. Okay. Like I said, we haven't heard the full testimony. She's testifying tomorrow, obviously, you guys. We haven't heard the full testimony, but I haven't heard any. Like, I know he said he was going to cut her off, but I mean, I haven't seen where, with Cassie, he stalked her, he hunted her down, he tried to, bring her back, and he threatened the men that she was with, or he thought that she was with. Like, he went that extra mile to try to get Cassie back, right? But with this girl, it just seemed like he was like, oh, well, shit. You don't want it. All right. Well, you ain't going to get this money. Like, kind of like a sugar daddy. If you don't give your sugar daddy no sugar, then it is what it is. 50 is paying her more. Okay, you think he's paying her more. Okay. Because we done heard 2.5K and it was 2,500, by the way. And then we done heard 7K. I feel like at least with 7K, that's a good amount. I feel like that's a good amount right there. That's what Cassie says, AT2. Here's the thing. It goes along with Capricorn's testimony that she was kidnapped and why didn't you tell me that he was with Kid Cudi, blah blah blah. Like, it goes with that. So I can't even say that Cassie was and here's another thing, because I know Bana, I didn't really talk about her too much, the one that was hung over the balcony. I don't think necessarily she's lying. I think that the dates and stuff like that, it's tripping her up. I think she was dangled over the balcony. I think what the issue is whether or not it was actual sexual assault, because she's claiming that he picked her up by her boobs, and then there was a conversation about like, oh well, this is the only way that you thought you would be able to sue if you put some kind of sexual allegations or something like that. I don't see, like, you can just sue somebody for battery, right? That's what I don't get. You can just sue somebody for battery. Like, I don't know why Bana needed to, but also too, y'all, you know how I've been on Tyrone Blackburn's neck and been like, he's a liar, he's a liar, he's a liar. Well, she ended up dropping Tyrone Blackburn and going to somebody else. And she even said, like, yeah, Tyrone was saying things incorrectly or wrong in the initial lawsuit. So that's why she ended up going with somebody else. I told you that Tyrone Blackburn is something else. Don't you know no good? Don't you know no good? Yeah, that Tyrone Blackburn, he ain't no good. I'm telling you. That's why I feel bad for Lil Rob, because I do believe Lil Rob was cheated out his money, you know? And then when Tyrone Blackburn got to him, that's when all this other stuff with all these other celebrities, and it kind of mirrored everything that Cassie had in her lawsuit. But one thing I want to say, you guys, we've been saying, like, and remember I told y'all, like, y'all, I don't believe this is true. All the new lawsuits that have came out recently, like, oh yeah, I was at a Diddy party and I remember he rubbed me down with baby oil and I passed out. That all was a lie. Ain't nobody passed out from being rubbed with. Yo, they was believing that you can just be rubbed down with baby oil. What? What? Y'all going to hell. All these fake Jane Does, you guys are going to hell. I just want to let y'all know that. Y'all are going to hell. Y'all literally have people on this ninja net, on this, I'm going to say the word, nigga net, thinking that you can be rubbed down with baby oil and pass out. What? What? That's why I didn't read all those goddamn lawsuits, y'all. Saying, oh yeah, I was rubbed down with baby oil and then I began to pass out. What? That don't even make any sense. And GHB has to be ingested into you. You just can't rub somebody down with, oh my God. I honestly feel like after this, I'm not lying, Misha. I think after this, a lot of those lawsuits, those people are probably going to drop those lawsuits because they're going to know, like, shit, well, now this doesn't go along with my story. And, a lot of people kind of made it seem that, these were one-on-one interacting. No, these were like private parties that he would have between him, the girlfriend, and the escort. Sometimes multiple escorts would come, one after the other, but it wasn't like this big old house full of a whole bunch of people having orgies and shit. No, it wasn't that. What's up, critic? Again, we're gonna get into the title of the video. We're gonna get into that because I feel like this is a deep conversation, but I wanted to focus on Jane Doe and, give you guys my thoughts on her testimony and everything like that. With Jane Doe, I believe that she was one of the people who thought she could change him. You notice there's a trend, like with Cassie, she thought she could change him. Even Gina talking with Tasha K years ago, she thought she would be the one or something different. I bet you Kim Porter thought she would be the one or would be able to change him. No one could change that man. That man is inherently who he is. Very evil. What's up, grown woman? Very evil. Very calculated. Very sinister, demonic. All the words you want to use, you can use those and it would describe Diddy. She listed as a sex worker in paperwork. She was a co-conspirator that got flipped. That's why engaging in prostitution is one of the charges. Yes. And also, too, I wanted to make it clear, the whole, prostitution, that is illegal, you guys. I just want to say that is illegal because some people are like, oh, I don't see, any crimes being committed. It's like, wait a minute. Now, as far as the RICO, yeah, I can see why it can be confusing, but, drugs, transporting sex workers, and those kind of things are illegal, you guys. Even if you don't believe it's RICO, it is illegal. So that is being proven. Now, is it worth him getting life in prison? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if it's life in prison or anything like that. Will he do a few years? Yeah, definitely, he gonna be doing a few years. But as far as because here's what it also feels like, and I think some of y'all might feel this way. Diddy probably should have been gone down for a few things, like Tupac, Biggie, that 1999 shooting, the 1994 stampede. Those kind of things Diddy should have went down for, right? But I feel like this is kind of like his karma. Like he's getting his karma back for all the shit that he did in the past. It's coming back to haunt him. But this right here, it might not be the biggest thing or that interesting to people, but I feel like this is kind of just like that moment, like, yo, we sick of you. It's time for you to go. We sick of you, and you're gonna get up out of here. That's how I kind of feel. Does anybody else feel that way? Like he needs to go down, but this was perfect example. You know how OJ got away with what he did? But then they got OJ for stealing his memorabilia, his own memorabilia. Y'all remember that? Put a one if you remember that. OJ got off for, the schmurder, and then he ended up going to jail for stealing his own memorabilia later on. That's what it kind of reminds me of. It's all like he should have went down for these things. Oh, see, y'all agree. He should have went down for these things, right? But he's going down for something where it's kind of like, it's a little iffy, but okay, well, shit, we'll take it. That's how I kind of feel. I hate to put it that way, but it kind of feels like, yeah, necessarily this might not be the one, but yeah. And I think also too, Diddy thought that he was smarter than the average Joe. He thought he was smarter than everybody else, and he wasn't. When someone requests, like, hey, you did me dirty, you did me wrong, I'm looking to recruit my funds. If he just would have paid Cassie off when she asked him, he would have been fine. But because he didn't do that, he ended up in this situation. Now, the only thing I question is not just her lawsuit, but what hasn't been answered to me. Were they already looking into Diddy before her lawsuit, or did it literally start with her lawsuit? Because again, you know how they settled or whatever, right? I kind of just would have been like, oh, okay, it was a settlement. Like, we'll throw this away. Put a one in the chat if you think they were already looking into Diddy. Put a two in the chat, no. One in the chat, they were already looking at him before the lawsuit, or put a two in the chat, no, after the lawsuit. They were already looking into him? Okay. The feds are so patient. Okay. Not a gay pimptress. In court, they said the investigation. Oh, I missed your comment. Hold on. On the day Cassie's lawsuit was filed. Oh, wow. Because what I was thinking about with the Keefe D situation, you know how Keefe D said that Diddy was, again, this is why I feel like he's going down for another crime, but really they're trying to get him for something else. You know how Keefe D said he was the one who asked him, like, hey, handle that problem with Tupac. I feel like they already kind of was like looking into him. And then when they seen this lawsuit come, they were like, we got something. We got him. Got him. They was all like, we got him now. Yeah, that's how I feel. Oh, something else to look into as well. The bribery, him paying for the hotel video, the him beating Cassie and stuff like that. That's also illegal too. So bribery, all that stuff, that goes into the RICO as well too. I know it doesn't look like okay, well, it was a criminal organization in the way that we think of like the mafia or something like that, but it's still a RICO, you guys. So I just want to make that clear. Okay. So this goes into the title of the video because we're going to talk about Diddy and talk about his sexuality. I feel that Diddy should have just slept with the men. I feel that Diddy finding women that were into or he could kind of live out his fantasy with was the wrong move. He should have just found him some men that like to play around and mess around. I feel like him hiring the girls to then, or um, not hiring the girls, but getting into these quote unquote relationships with these women just to in turn have them do freak offs and stuff like. He should just cut out the middleman and just got him some men that would do that. It seemed like all that going around was for nothing. If you want the dick, just directly get the dick. Why are you jumping through? He jumped through hoops to get the dick, y'all. I hate to put it that way. I hate to say it that way, y'all. But he jumped through hurdles to get the dick. Isn't that crazy? He jumped through hurdles to get the dick. How many of y'all jumped through hurdles to get the dick? Put a one in the chat. Okay, let me stop. But I'm serious. Even though I was joking, I'm serious. He went through hurdles to get the dick. When I almost said her name again. When Jane Doe said she would FaceTime the men, because get it, you guys, she would FaceTime the men and had her FaceTime streaming to his TV so he could watch them, watch the men, play with themselves and send Dog, just cut out the middleman. Just cut out the middleman. He would have the girls ask for pictures of the men to then send to him. Cut out the middleman. Just get your man. When Jane Doe said there was like this smelly, sweaty guy, and she couldn't do it because he smelled so bad, right? Or the middle woman. Thank you, the middle woman. Remember, she told the story about how like there was a guy, he smelled so bad and she wasn't into it, she couldn't do it. And so what he did was ended up having sex with her and then told the smelly guy to stand in front of him. And he was like, oh, look at that dick, baby. Oh, look at that dick. And she still wasn't interested and was all like, no, can he leave? That let me know everything. Like, these were men that Diddy liked. These weren't men that the girls were into. These were men that Diddy liked. If that's what he liked, he should have just got what he liked. There was plenty of men that he could actually had a relationship with. Now, maybe what he was worried about was, oh, if I do this and people, because listen, everybody had been talking about Diddy, going back to Wendy Williams, everybody had been talking about Diddy was gay and all that, right? He literally could have just got what he wanted and just been, he still could have been private about it. He still could have been private about it. He doesn't have to let us know. Nobody has to let you know about their sexuality. Let's just put that out there, right? But he could have directly got with the men that he wanted to get with. Why jump through hoops and hurdles and do all this crazy shit? And you could have cut out the middle woman and just got what you wanted. If she had to send, because, and here's the thing too, you think about the women, right? They didn't go like, wait, hold on a minute. So you want me to get videos and photos and then send them to you? And they didn't like pause and like question that. They were just like, oh, okay, I'll get videos and pictures and send them to you, or I'll let you stream it from your TV. Like, they didn't question that. And mind you, they not necessarily all of them had to be black men, but the majority were. But one of the not requirements was that it was a big D. He liked big D. He preferred black because that's why they had to have white fingernails. Remember, they had to have the white fingernails, but it had to be big D. Preferably BBC, but it just had to be BC and not before Christ. Because it's all like, why do you want? Because if you're just interested in watching your girl with somebody else, then you're just interested in it and you want her to enjoy it. So you want her to find somebody that she likes. But instead, you made sure that it was people that you liked. And I don't, and here's the thing, I don't want to blame society or this thing where like you can't be open with yourself. And so this is why so many men are on the D. Like, I don't even want to go into that conversation because at the end of the day, when you rich and powerful, they don't really care what you are. They don't really care. You have enough power, influence, and money where that stuff doesn't even matter. But for him not being honest with himself, because I know y'all like to call it a cockhold or he's a voyager, and we want to put all these names for it because technically we haven't heard anything that he was involved with the men. But knowing, put your kids to bed while I say this next part, because this is also why I'm all like, no, this guy, he was closeted. Put your kids to bed, 30 seconds. Because it's not just about the watching, you guys. He liked to watch the women. After the dudes were, he specifically requested that the dudes finish on the outside of the girl, so then when they leave, he could play with the juices. Now, if that ain't no gay shit, I don't know what the. He wanted to play with the juices. Do y'all hear me? He liked playing in the juices afterwards. Listen, I don't even like my own fucking juices. That's gross. That is gross. And these girls didn't say, nigga, you weird? And they didn't run from that? Oh. Like, that's weird. Put a 4 in the chat if that shit's weird to you. Because I'm looking at them like y'all were okay with it. I'm like, huh? And then with almost said her name again, with Jane Doe, she literally said, yeah, they would mess around afterwards, and then he would call another man in, and sometimes it'd be 3 guys in one night. So this is happening multiple different times in one night. What? What's up, Blessing? What? I don't like it. I don't. I don't like that shit at all. That nah. 6 in one night on her birthday. It was 6 on her birthday. I thought it was two guys came that night of her birthday. Mm. Yeah. Listen, you're the kind of like sexual behavior or sexual life they have. You're not supposed to really be doing all that. It's not good for you. Especially, it's not good for women, as you guys know. Like that's why Cassie talked about getting, infections and stuff like that. It's not good, but it's also not good for men either. It's not good for us either. Oh, and that's another thing. The guys couldn't use condoms, and he would get mad if she requested that one of the guys use condoms. So that's even another thing. So he wanted to make sure that it was he could see the meat. He didn't want no condom on the meat. He didn't want no wrapper on that hot dog. He said, "Hold the wrapper. I just want the hot dog." Again, he should have cut out the middleman, and he should have got the dick that he wanted. And I know some of y'all said somebody said a comment like, "Oh well, you can't be open in hip hop." I'm not saying that he had to be open, but he definitely couldn't. Instead of him having the girls do this and that, he could have found like some dudes that would have kept his secret and all that shit. He definitely could have found people that would shut their mouths and not say nothing. He didn't have to go through these women to do it. Now, he still probably would have got in trouble for, drugs and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, it wouldn't be these situations where he's forcing these women into these freak offs and shit like that. Yeah. It just been a well kept secret. Oh, I didn't see your other part to your. I likes both AT2 and Control. Wait. Wait, Addicted. I didn't see your other comment. What do you like? Hold on. Let me see what you like first. Hold on. I missed your other comment. I played every woman in his life against each other. Oh, you were manipulating. Oh, okay. Oh, he. Oh, got you. And that's not. I don't want to say all rappers are gay. I don't want to say that. I don't personally. I don't want to say all rappers are gay. Um, I think in society we kind of want to pigeonhole everybody to what we think sex is supposed to be. And listen, I've had conversation with people, and I'll be like, "Oh," they be like, "Oh, you like that?" I'll be like, "No, I don't. I don't like that. I'm very vanilla. You know that's why I'm lonely right now. But I'm very vanilla. I don't like the freaky shit that y'all probably into some weird shit, right? As long as it's not criminal, you can do whatever. But I don't think we have a society where you can be open to be able to do the freaky shit that you want. You know, because I've had conversation where they're like, "Oh, you like that, right?" No, 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 no. Do y'all know what I'm talking about? So y'all ain't we grown in here, right? Y'all put your kids to bed. We grown in here. Put a one in the chat if somebody has ever told you some freaky shit and it scared you. Put a one. Put a two. That never happened because you probably the freak. Yeah, there's some people you'd be like, that's what you oh no, definitely not. Shit, I thought I was a little freaky, but after learning what other people like, oh no, I'm not freaky at all. I am definitely vanilla. Okay, Autism Academy. Okay, you a freak. Diana's a freak. Who else? Don't be afraid. If you're a freak, you let it all out, y'all. Let it all out. You can be a freak. Okay, K Pearl is a freak. Okay. I just asked regular stuff. Just give me regular, you know. Uh I seen Storm's video, like he was like at the barbershop or something like that, and he's been having like different videos. I've been seeing a lot of that. The majority of them are though, you're not telling a lie, you're just being unbiased and truthful. The industry is built off of gay wealthy owners. They turn the straight into gay and praise on the gay. And see, this is where I disagree with you, Blessings, because at the end of the day, nobody can make you do anything that you don't want to do. If it's within you, you'll do it. But if it's not, you won't do it. And yes, we know about the big bosses, how they control everything and turn people out. We know about that. But it's what you are willing to do, that's what you're going to do. Nobody can make you do anything that you don't want to do. Unless, they're drugging you, all that stuff. But you innately did that to yourself. You have never been in a chokehold. No. Freakily. That's the thing, AT2. They're doing it willingly. Yeah. Exactly. The real thing is people gay for pay. They sold one to the money or the fame. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. You'll do certain things people will do certain things to be famous. It's sad. He'll adjust to prison, and that's the thing. He'll have all the BBC that he won in prison, so it'll work out perfectly for him. I hope he does experience what he wants to really experience and be open with that. Yeah, Cat Williams say he has a virgin hole. He did say that. Choking is no Shannon Sharp stuff. Right. Willingly, they are being extorted and beaten up when they said no. Are you talking about the women, EH? Or are you talking about in general? What's up, Stephanie? I don't think everybody is being beaten or forced to do something. I think some people are either it's within them or they are looking for fame and fortune. I would agree with that argument that everybody is being forced to do something they don't want to do. Yeah, flourishing. I'm more on that. Yeah. Yeah. Jane Doe wasn't being forced. Yeah. What's up, Hawan? I'm a freak, unfortunately. And listen, there is nothing wrong with. Listen, I know this is kind of weird because we're talking about being forced and coerced, and then there's another side where it's all like you should be open to express yourself, and I do believe that you should be open to express yourself the way you want to, as long as it's not criminal, and as long as you find people that are down for it. Just like I said, I have no problem with what Diddy likes, right? But Diddy should have cut out the middleman or the middle woman and just got what he wanted. If you wanted big dicks, go get you a big dick. But don't force these women to live out a secret fantasy that you have. You should just do it yourself. So the moral of the story, if you want BBC, go get you some BBC. Diddy should have just got BBC on itself. Like, don't force Cassie and these other women to live out that fantasy for you. You should have just went out and got that. And he would and listen, he wouldn't be in jail right now, right? This is what he get. And here's the thing, too. This is how you know Diddy got what he deserved. Because after the Cassie lawsuit, you still doing these freak offs and shit like that. After the lawsuit, you're still doing it. Like, that's how you know. Like, this is why I don't feel bad for Diddy. You deserve to be in jail. Like, I would think, like, oh, this needs, like, I would have been like, oh, well, I'm gonna stop this. You know what? Like, y'all would have stopped, right? Like, I know I would have stopped after the Cassie lawsuit. I've been like, okay, there we go. Men abuse men too. Yes, yeah, River, I do agree with that. I'm not saying that men can't be abused or anything like that, but also I think it's a situation where some people are fame hungry, and like it's a lot. It's a lot more to it. I don't think that everybody's being forced to be gay. I don't think that. I think it's within you, or you're looking for opportunity and stuff like that. Fool me once, shame on you. Twice, shame on me. There would be a third time I would have the limo driver take me to the yeah, Ariel. Who's Justin Bentley? Oh, I don't know who that is. Justin Bentley. That's true. Jane said when she agreed to first FO, he was ordering up a man before. Yeah. He was ordering them. Um, but a man would have retaliated. Oh, his son. Oh. Okay, yeah, River, you would have to explain more. I don't think we on the same page. But I still say I disagree. The drug use, yeah, that's another thing. The drug use, and I think one thing that the defense is trying to make it seem is like, oh well, all these people are crackheads, including Diddy. You got a whole bunch of crackheads. They really don't know what went down and what happened. They're on these drug binges. Like nobody was in control of themselves. Like I see the way that the defense is trying to spin it. Like these are all crackheads and they all on drugs, taking substances. Like how do they really know what went down or what happened, which is smart, you know? Be like, oh, these are just people who need rehab. They just need rehab. They're on long binges. You know, you stay up late. You might be into some wild shit when you're on substances. I see the way the defense is trying to spin it. And that's also why they're catching the people up on lies, because, yeah, if you are drunk or on a whole bunch of substances, how do you really remember everything? Unless, one, it was filmed, which they do have audio from Jane Doe, right? And then two, you have the text messages. And then other than that, you know, lining up the dates and times. And, you know, there's some videos out there. So, yeah. All of the witnesses are shady. People who are drunk cannot consent. That's another thing, right? But CJ, some of them were saying that they chose to take the drugs to, like Cassie and Jane Doe. They said they chose to take the drugs to like numb themselves, so they didn't have to worry about it. Or, you know, he would be like, "Oh, you need to calm down or relax. Here you go. You know, here's a pill." So he's going down from at least 5 to 10. Diddy picks the weaker vessel. He's a coward, and kind of men Diddy freaked off with would beat his behind. True. He challenged the people who he knew to challenge. He knew who he can play with, and he knew who he couldn't. I need witnesses from parties that were drugged and woke up confused. Yeah, I don't think there was any of those. Like the way that all those 120 whatever lawsuits made it seem, none of it was that. These were private things that happened in hotel rooms, but they're private events. It wasn't like, oh yeah, it was a whole bunch of people at a party and they were having free. Y'all need to apologize to all these celebrities. That's also what I want to say too. Y'all need to apologize to all these celebrities, because y'all had everybody thinking that all these people were on tape with Diddy. Jane said Diddy's still paying for her apartment even now. Yeah, I talked about that. Yeah. And like I said, after this case is over with, if they seize his money, she gonna be SOL. So she should have got her a job. I agree with y'all. Oh, all right, y'all. We are at that hour mark. I want to say thank you guys so much. My phone was going off. Did y'all send me some money? Oh no, y'all ain't send me no damn money. I was just messing with y'all, but make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and replay crew, let me know what you guys think in the chat. This was an awesome show. I want to say thank you everybody for being here. Also, AT2 Entertainment, my backup channel. Make sure you guys follow my backup channel. I released the first episode of my new podcast, Talk to Me. So make sure you guys check that out as well. But we out, y'all. Deuces.